This is the Rookie Big Board Rookie Profile Series. I'm your host, Matt Hicks, the FF Educator, joined as always by John Love, the Gridiron Scholar. This is the C.J. Stroud Rookie Profile. John, C.J. Stroud gaining a lot of momentum amidst rumors that he will be the first selection in the 2023 NFL Draft. But I think as you dig into this profile, a lot of folks are going to understand exactly why the Carolina Panthers and many other front offices are probably enamored with this passer out of Ohio State.
Before the combine, I think there was a large disagreement who was at the top. But man, CJ Stroud put on a show. And you know what I find amazing, Matt? People are like, oh, his ball placement. I'm like, did you never watch CJ Stroud the last 2 years? Like, his ball placement has been incredible on film. I mean, yes, he did illustrate it at the combine, but I think that's his best trait is the ball placement. So I'm just shocked that people are surprised. He's been my number one quarterback now since November. He's just too good, Matt. I think he's a top pick in the draft. If I'm the Panthers, I'm taking him. And before we break this down, separate CJ Stroud from recent Ohio State quarterbacks. I know there are questions about that Urban Meyer and Ryan Day scheme, but our job, Matt, is to separate each individual prospect and break down their skills. In the 10 years, I've really taken deep looks at JT Barrett, Cardell Jones, Dwayne Haskins, RIP young man, and Justin Fields. I'll say this, CJ Stroud is the best thrower of the football of all the Ohio State products. I think Justin Fields has different skill set, but I'll take CJ Stroud's ability to throw the football above all of them. In high school, he was a 5-star prospect and the number 2 pro-style signal caller in the nation. He earned MVP honors at Elite 11 finals, and his name started to pop up, right? He was so good the last 2 years, Matt. He was the 2-time Heisman Trophy finalist, the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, and the Big Ten Quarterback of the Year. I mean, he was just incredible. And remember, he sat behind Justin Fields, and he was in a battle in the summer of 2021, Matt. He was not guaranteed to get the starting job, and he ended up with it. He was so good that year. I just read off all the awards, but he's also third-team All-American, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, Big Ten Freshman of the Week honor 7 times, and twice Offensive Player of the Week. He passed for over 4,400 yards, and one of my favorite statistics, Matt, a 44-6 touchdown to interception ratio his first year on the field. He was the first Buckeyes quarterback to throw 5 aerial strikes without an interception in back-to-back games. After an amazing 2021, there was a lot of pressure on him. Buckeyes wanted to get to the playoffs. He was a Heisman favorite. And Matt, he came back and he just played sensational again. Second-team All-American, finalist for the Walter Camp Player of the Year, Davey O'Brien, Maxwell Award finalist. He was the team captain. He surpassed over 40 passing touchdowns for the second consecutive season. This time he only had 3,500 passing yards, Matt. Their offense was so efficient. Excuse me. They were blowing out so many people. He didn't have to throw for that many yards. In his college career, he established 16 school passing and total offensive records. He established 3 Big Ten passing records. Season passing yards with 3,193 in Big Ten games only. Touchdown passes with 34. Career passing efficiency. In the Rose Bowl against Utah, he had 5 records in that game. And then, Matt, what can we say? Against Georgia, that was a game for the ages. He played unbelievably well in that. Matt, I love him. What's your analysis say of CJ Stroud?
There's a lot to like from CJ Stroud's film review, John. We're looking at him here. He has a big arm, and I say that intentionally. I think he's got this knock of not having a big arm because he doesn't have like an Anthony Richardson or Will
He's
Levis
got
arm.
a big arm.
Man, he can hit anywhere on the field. We're not worried about CJ Stroud's arm. So he does have a big arm. He has an effortless throwing motion. He can hit any spot on the field, as I just mentioned. He possesses a tight throwing motion, John, with a great mechanical foundation built off of good footwork. I think that mechanical foundation is one of the things that NFL front offices love about him. He displays good velocity, John, passing through the midfield, so the short field, midfield. And what I love about him is he's comfortable in the pocket. He feels pressure well. He's comfortable moving the pocket. He's comfortable being mobile within the pocket. And I think that is something that really helps translate at the next level. It's something we've seen players really struggle with, right? I mean, Sam Darnold is a great example of that. Not being able to have that pocket presence, feel pressure correctly, can really stunt the growth of a young passer at the next level. Here's going to be the big thing, John. Here's the big question. He will he unlock his mobility at the next level? Because he is a mobile athletic player, but going all the way back to his high school film, and this continued on through Ohio State, he's always wanted to live in the pocket. He's been a passer first, which is funny. Usually developmentally, it's the other way around, right? Guys feel pressure and they want to just bolt and run real quickly. CJ Stroud can run. He is athletic. He is mobile. He is fast for the quarterback position. But he doesn't want to run. But what did we see in the college football playoff against Georgia? He unlocked that mobility and he showed it off. And guess what, John? The NFL scouting philosophy on this is if I've seen a player do it once on tape, my coaches can get him to do it every time. And so that's going to be the mindset of NFL head coaches. I don't think they're going to want him to be Justin Fields running the ball as much as he did, but they're going to want him to run the ball 50, 60 times. And for fantasy football purposes, if they want him to run the ball in the end zone, there's going to be some major upside there. So that's going to be the key. We want him to unlock his mobility. When it comes to the weaknesses and where he needs to grow, it's going to be in processing and decision making, John. And there's two aspects of this that are the things I'm sure NFL coaching staffs are going to look to improve with CJ Stroud. He locks into pre-snap reads too often. Now, this is one where you look at the offense and you have to kind of say, is this CJ Stroud or is this what the offense is asking him to do? The Ohio State offense is built on pre-snap reads and quick reads. And so this is something, going back, we will see consistently that we've criticized Ohio State quarterbacks on the last couple of years. So is he just doing what his coaches have asked him to do? Or is he displaying a yellow flag in terms of being able to process, right? And then in terms of weaknesses as well, you look at his, a little bit too aggressive mentality sometimes when passing the ball. He will force the ball into tight windows and he will force the ball into double coverage at times. But again, I think that might just be, you're throwing the ball over the last couple of years to Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison Jr. I'd throw into triple coverage if I had one of those guys catching the ball. So, putting the context of the system, you can kind of look past some of those weaknesses, but of course we want to make sure that we're talking through the full evaluation here, John. And the full evaluation, of course, has to consist of talking about the numbers as well.
I feel really good, Matt, that he's going to break the mold of Ohio State quarterbacks. And we've already seen it with Justin Fields. Justin Fields has flashed his upside. He is clearly an NFL starter. And I think CJ Stroud is a similar NFL fantasy starter, NFL franchise quarterback. And my model likes him a real lot, Matt. Touchdown interception ratio, 85-12. That is just sick. He's smart with the football. And I understand people. He has some of the most amazing wide receivers. There's NFL quarterbacks who would do anything to throw. But let me tell you this. Just because you have talented receivers, not every quarterback in the country can get them the football, Matt. And not every quarterback can make the right reads under duress. What I really like about Stroud, and it's in these numbers, he manipulates the pocket so well, but he keeps his head down the field, Matt, and he finds the open receiver. Like that is such, like you said, in developmentally, young quarterbacks would prefer to run. CJ Stroud prefers to find the receiver late in the play. I love that. Look at that passing efficiency, 182.4. I'm looking at 155. He's off the charts there. He throws the ball deep, Matt. 9.8 yards per attempt. I think if my memory serves me, Anthony Richardson was like 7.6. And everyone says Anthony Richardson's got a stronger arm. You know what, Matt? I'll take the guy who completes the pass deep, just doesn't throw it deep. I mean, I think CJ Stroud is amazing on the deep throws. 25 games played. I would have liked to seen 30, but I understand he only played 2 years. That's still a decent number. Where we're only going to be hurt in fantasy, he doesn't have Justin Fields' upside with his legs. He had a 4% rushing equity. However, you alluded to it, and I talked about the game against Georgia in the playoffs. He showed us that he has that within his repertoire. How many yards? I don't think he'll ever have 700 yards rushing, Matt. But could he get 300 to 350 with 4 to 5 touchdowns? I do think he can do that, which helps his fantasy value tremendously. He completes 69.3% of his passes, Matt. My model loves him. He's my number one quarterback. What should fantasy footballers know about CJ Stroud?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, John. Day one early, 1 to 10 overall. Lock it in with CJ Stroud. Very good shot at this point in time. He goes with the first selection in the NFL draft. In terms of fantasy football rookie drafts, he should land in that top 4 selections, 101 to 104. You know, it'll be interesting to see how the quarterbacks play out. I think they will go off the board in a different order in different leagues. I think, John, there's going to be leagues where Anthony Richardson is the first quarterback drafted in your Superflex rookie draft, and I think there's going to be leagues where Bryce Young is going to be drafted first. But I think CJ Stroud in both of those leagues is going to be drafted second. It just seems like, there's folks that are going to get in on you're going to pick the quarterback that's for you. But these guys should all come off the board pretty early, along with Bijan Robinson in those first 4 or so picks. I have him projected at the bottom of my league winner tier, which is a quarterback 1-2. So I do think CJ Stroud has the potential to be a top 12 fantasy football quarterback. A good chunk of that, in terms of whether he can be a top 5 guy, will come, John, with will he, again, unlock that mobility? Will he use his legs? Will he be a threat in the red zone? And in terms of, where I see him coming off the board now in fantasy football drafts, I'm likening his value to Deshaun Watson. And of course, there's varying factors with Deshaun Watson that's going to kind of throw his value around in different leagues. But, in terms of having that big upside there, in terms of his skill set, it's a similar value price right now between CJ Stroud and Deshaun Watson. But John, there is no better value price out there than being a rookie big board patron. For as low as $3 a month, you get access to our rankings, to the rookie big board Discord, to the rookie guide, 95 pages of rookie content, rookie profiles, and one-on-one personalized insight and advice for your fantasy football rookie drafts. Now is the time. If you are enjoying this entire rookie profile series, you have to head on over to patreon.com/rookiebigboard and get in on the action. And as always, we appreciate you checking out this episode of the Rookie Big Board.